And the green light is on, which means it is a go. And it is a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, sleepless Friday night. Looking forward to a blessed, wonderful, beautiful night with the 6th annual Sleepless Awards. My goodness. Never would have thought in 1,000 light years that I'd be saying in any point of them that we'd be doing the 6th annual Sleepless Awards 6 years ago, back when me and Dooley started it. We've changed co-hosts a couple of times, but we got my co-host for the night popping into the chat already. So we might as well get right down to it on some intros. But I hope everybody's having a blessed, wonderful, beautiful day. Hope you're staying safe, staying warm, depending on where you might be located, because it's a bit chilly where I am in the land. And I'm pretty sure I can say the same for good brother Doomer that, hey, Ollie, how's the weather out there? It's fucking cold. Yeah, and we're past 7 seconds, so I can say that. But yeah, it's just been insanely, as Gucci Mane would say it, brr outside. And but with that being said, it's hot in here because a lot of the picks, man, they made me sweat coming up with these tonight. I ain't gonna lie. Across the board, almost all categories, at some point I encountered something where I'm going back and forth and back. I know Doomer said the same thing as well. 16 degrees in the mitten freezing. Shit. But yeah, so looking really forward though to tonight, the 6th annual Sleepless Awards. Like I was saying at the top of the episode, I couldn't imagine 6 years ago that we'd be still doing this and we'd be rocking and have a bigger following, and I'd be great best friends and co-hosting with a dude named Good Brother Doomer from the great Motor City on a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, sleepless Friday night. I would have said you're crazy. But with that being said, my co-host for tonight, first time ever co-hosting the Sleepless Awards with me, we got from the Motor City, he's freezing with me, we got Mr. KRS3, Mr. Good Brother Doomer. Thank you for joining us tonight and joining me as well in the hot seat, trying to come up with nominations, honorable mentions, and winners. I ain't gonna lie, they come for all of us, whether it be the Grammys, the Critics' Choice, the Oscars, the Sleepless Awards. When I post these clips at some point in time tonight, we're going to say something that somebody really agrees with, and they look at us like we're Jesus Christ, or we're going to say something that makes them want to look up our IP addresses and find our real addresses so that they can come kill us. But that's what makes this fun, nevertheless. Always look forward to it. And with that being said, co-hosting with the Good Brother Doomer tonight, who's got to co-host 6 of these things, believe it or not. The creme de la creme, the one that they do, in fact, call him Mr. El Tucretente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce everything you motherfucker knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Stony Montana, a.k.a. Young Dumbledore, the lyrical wizard, a.k.a. Bed Burgundy, wives, they sleep on your boy, a.k.a. the young Brad Pitt, a.k.a. the blonde Tom Cruise, a.k.a. young Kaiba, a.k.a. call him what you will, but you can never call me broke or sad, because it's Mr. Keep a Love High. And the motherfucking hate low, baby. But something tells me when everybody sees these clips and everybody watching, and who knows, maybe us at each other, somebody gonna be feeling the heat tonight. Who knows? That just might be one of those. I ain't seen an award show yet where somebody has agreed with everything that I've said. But with that being said, though, this is the category that I always like to kick it off with. You want to kick it off with a bang. So with that being said, to kick off the 6th annual Sleepless Awards, big cheers, big pros, Good Brother Doomer, and to everybody watching as well. We're always in for a good one. This is one of my favorite shows of the year, hands down. Each category gets 5 nominations. And then honorable mention, well, you can put 1 or you can put as many as you'd like. And in a couple cases, sometimes it's just hard coming up with a full set of 5 nominations. So sometimes you might have 3 or 4 strong ones. But to kick off the 6th annual Sleepless Awards, I'm going to go first. Then I'm going to rattle off Doomer's picks, and we will converse and talk about each category as well. And I can't wait to see what everybody's watching think, what everybody watching thinks, whether you're watching this live or watching afterwards. So to kick off, we got Song of the Year. First nomination for me, I got Mac Miller, Friendly Hallucinations. Second nomination, Drake P&D, Spider-Man, Superman. JID and Clips, Community. Clips, Ace Trumpets, Wale and Leon Thomas, Watching Us. My honorable mentions, Mick Jenkins, Pundits Yappers. Drake, What Did I Miss? Jack Blocker, If Heaven Looks Like Arkansas. And the winner is, of the Song of the Year, 6th annual Sleepless Awards, I'm giving it to JID and Clips, Community. When kings can't raise a young prince, the doves cry here. I got to give it to Community. That Coming up with that list of songs, though, in a year where we got so much great music. Of course, you know the Mac bias is going to come out. I replayed the hell out of Friendly Hallucinations. I absolutely love Drake and PND's joint, that Spider-Man Superman. Favorite one on there. Drake's verse on there is vintage classic fucking Drake. You got Clips, Ace Trumpets, maybe my verse of the year, maybe, with Malice. I absolutely love that verse. I love that song. YOLO diamonds look like pee-pee. Also love Pusha T's first verse. And then Wale and Leon Thomas, man, they came in at the bottom of the fourth or bottom of the ninth inning and hit a fucking home run out of the park. See you later. They went nuclear with Watching Us. But I got to give the dub to Community. That just had that classic feel to it. JID's rapping like the rent was due 3 years ago. Clips, I mean, come on, Pusha T again, Malice. These are names that this is not the last time you're going to hear me say those names tonight. It's just, those are names that are just going to keep popping up because it was one of those years where all those individuals showed out. And I think that felt to me like an Avengers moment, them on Community. So for the winner, for Tuker's Song of the Year, I'm going with JID Clips Community. So now to kick it off with Good Brother Doomer's nominations, honorable mentions, and winners of 2025 for the 6th annual. Big cheers, big pros, and of course, how could I forget to say it? But Happy New Year, everybody. Let's have a blessed, wonderful 2026. Song of the Year, Mobb Deep, Against the World. West Side Gun, Egypt, featuring Doechii. DJ Premier and Rock Marciano, Armani Section. De La Soul, The Package. Freddie Gibbs, Ensalada. And his honorable mentions, we got Key Glock, Blue Devil. Hit Boy and Alchemist, Business Merger. Larry June, 2 Chainz and Alchemist, Spy Hunter. And the winner is, for Good Brother Doomer's Song of the Year, Mobb Deep, Against the World. Woo! I loved how we definitely differed there. In fact, I don't think we had not one same nomination, so that's pretty fucking cool. At least we covered a lot of ground there. They gotta love somebody. I also love your honorable mentions with the Key Glock and the Blue Devil. Hit Boy and Alc, Business Merger, that's a great joint. Spy Hunter, again, Larry June, 2 Chainz, Alchemist. I'm pretty sure those are 3 names that we're going to be hearing a lot. That Mobb album this year got slept on. Yeah, I mean, that Mobb Deep album, I honestly do feel like maybe I got to go back and give that a listen. Against the World, Mobb Deep for your Song of the Year, for Doomers, and for Tukers, we got Community, JID, and Clips. So Mobb Deep and Clips and Mobb Deep getting love in 2025. Imagine that. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome, though. That's incredible. I mean, as you can see from my honorable mentions, it was kind of hard deciding what to throw in there. I just really loved the direction of Yappers. I thought that was really cool. And then What Did I Miss? I thought that was just a great comeback record from Drake. And then If Heaven Looked Like Arkansas, Jack Blocker. I mean, that song is just great, folk. But your honorable mentions, though, I like them, though, a lot. Then your Song of the Year. I mean, De La Soul, The Package. Should we revive the joke? Who? What you mean who? But Freddie Gibbs, though, Ensalada. That's a great one. Is that the one that Anderson .Paak's on, though? I'm trying to think. Because I will say Alfredo 2 is an album that I've been listening to a lot more since it dropped. Yep. Hell yeah. Yeah, they did smoke that joint. Yeah, I mean, you got great nominations right there. Egypt featuring Doechii. I mean, you know what I think of that record. I mean, I think that's... I love West Side Gun, and him getting the Doechii feature and the way she slid on that was just... Yeah, that was just nutty. But kick off, though, the 6th annual Sleepless Awards for Song of the Year. My final answer was Community. JID Clips. Good Brother Doomer, he said Mobb Deep, Against the World. And now to go with an Artist of the Year category, but we always like to go ladies first. So we're going to go with Female Artist of the Year. And we're going to kick this one off with Good Brother Doomer. We're going to do it Sleepless Radio style. For Female Artist of the Year, his nominations are Sabrina Carpenter, Yaya Bay, Rhapsody, Lotto, Rochelle Jordan, and then honorable mentions, Shay Noor, Lily Allen, Olivia Dean. And the winner for Female Artist of the Year of 2025 is Rochelle Jordan, Doomer says. Okay, Rochelle Jordan, I got to get a little bit more into her. You're going to have to hit me with a couple of those joints, my friend. I was not familiar with their game. Maybe in this case, I did not know much ball. Because I know a little bit, but I'm definitely not like too familiar with like joint names, for example. That's interesting. Wow. She's underrated as fuck. She's done a lot of work with K Tronada. Ah, okay. So that's where I've definitely heard the name then. Because like I said, I know I've heard the name. In fact, not only, I think you've maybe even mentioned it a couple different times. Yeah, love those nominations, though, that you got right there. That's for damn sure. You got Lotto, Rhapsody. Always love some Rhapsody. I'm not too familiar with, and I really hope I'm pronouncing this lady's name right, but Yaya Bay. But then, of course, I love the Sabrina, Shay Noor. You know what I think of Shay Noor. Lily Allen and Olivia Dean as well. Love those picks. And by the way, too, I wanted to also preface this before we get too far into the awards, speaking on behalf of me and Doomer as well, with I know everybody always wonders, like, oh, when you're looking at the Grammys, like, what do you factor into categories? How do you, like, come up with these selections? What made you come to these conclusions? Well, Doomer, feel free to throw out how you kind of view it going into, obviously this is your first time at the awards too. So I'm actually curious to see kind of what your approach was going into how you factored in what gets nominated, what was an honorable mention, what was a winner, in your cases. Because for me, I always look at it like this: efficiency, output, moments, maybe a run, obviously quality. But if you have a high quantity and high quality, that tends to boost you in a lot of different categories as well. I have a factored in bias, but I also try not to be too biased. So, like, for example, in the first category, Friendly Hallucinations is not my favorite Mac Miller song on that album. But I do think that that is one of the best songs of the year if I'm picking one off of that album to go against all the other great music in the year. So that's me, for example. But I am curious to see how Doomer goes about with his approach. And for everybody watching, let me know afterwards too as well in the clips. Feel free. Please, in fact, I'm inviting you. I'd like you to share me how you come up with your song of the year and how you come up with all these different categories, because it's tough. Doomer said, honestly, it's usually just whatever I found myself going back to the most this year. And that's where you lean into replays. And that's why I also love getting utilization out of the playlist that I post every month, because it keeps track of my favorite stuff from every month, to where then I can go back and be like, oh, yeah, I remember. And sometimes I'll add 3 or 4 songs off of an album to be like, oh, yeah, I remember I was really digging that album back in March. So we got to definitely get back into that. But for Female Artist of the Year, once again, Doomer's nominations were Sabrina, Yaya Bay, Rhapsody, Lotto, Rochelle Jordan, who took home the dub for him. Honorable mention, Shay Noor, Lily Allen, and Olivia Dean. Now for me, Female Artist of the Year, we got first name that I wrote down is the first name that Doomer wrote down. Sabrina Carpenter, Shay Noor, Cardi B, Love the Genius, and Olivia Dean. My honorable mentions, I got to give her an honorable mention. Plus, she did drop a dope-ass album this year, too. So, that would be Lizzo, Mariah the Scientist, and Sexy Red. And the winner for my Female Artist of the Year of 2025 goes to Cardi fucking B. Party Gang. I got to go with Cardi on that one. That Am I the Drama album, I think was, it was probably one of the best female albums of the year for sure. I was really nervous leading up to the album just because of how kind of the singles didn't really quite go the route that she wanted. A couple of them hit, a couple of them didn't. Hate to say it, a couple of them flopped. But I thought Am I the Drama, as far as it being like her follow-up album to what Invasion of Privacy did and the numbers that it put up, I think that it was exactly what she needed, everything and then some. I think Cardi B and Clips actually had 2 of the best rollouts of the year, which I can't even believe that that's a sentence. But I really do firmly believe that Cardi B and Clips had, hands down, probably 2 of the easy top 5 best rollouts out of the year, maybe even 2 out of 3. But again, Sabrina, she had a great tour.
She had a great album that came out. She had a great single. She sells well. She's all over the place. She's on SNL breaking the internet. Shay Noor. I have Shay Noor there because one, her output, and that's another case of we got quality and we got quantity. She dropped like 4 or 5 projects this year, and shit's all heat. Absolutely efficient as all hell. And same goes for the Love the Genius. But I know Shay Noor, though, she was operating on an even higher level. I'm really excited to see where they both go. And then Olivia Dean just made her step out moment this year. Then now she's performing at the Garden. And I just love seeing that for her as somebody that's been a fan of hers now for quite some time. And once again, I got to give my honorable mentions to my girl Lizzo. Can't leave her off. And then you got Mariah the Scientist. And big sexy red, baby. But I feel like that was not an easy category, not one of the tougher ones, at least for me, because I kind of had a feeling that was Cardi going in. But yeah, I'm not mad at your picks though at all either, Doomer. So you got Rochelle Jordan as your that shit's gas. I'm trying to remember what it was called though, and I just for some reason can't for the life of me. But for Doomer's 6th annual 2025 Female Artist of the Year, he gave that up to Rochelle Jordan. For my 2025 Female Artist of the Year, I got to give that to Cardi B, baby. And then that leads us right into you can't have all this great music if you don't got producers. So now I'm going to kick off this one. For Producer of the Year, we got Alchemist, Christo, Conductor Williams, Pharrell, Hit Boy. Honorable mentions, Chuck Strangers and Gordo. And the winner is, pretty sure this should be everybody's winner, but the winner is Alchemist. That's my 2025 Producer of the Year. I feel like that was the easiest category of the night. Me and Duma were actually going over pre-production, and I said Producer of the Year is the easiest one we'll have tonight because it's Alchemist and whoever name you else want to write on a piece of paper, because that one is clear as day, Alchemist. Not saying that there wasn't a lot of great production this year. That's why coming up with those names, it was, Pharrell, you got the Let God Sort Him Out. Conductor Williams, Conductor, We Have a Problem. Christo with God Does Like Ugly. I think the production on that was insane. And then, of course, you got Hit Boy. I'm pretty sure him and Alk are in there every year. It's a battle of who's it going to be. And this year, Alchemist said, hey, brother, I love you, but it's me. And honorable mentions, of course, I had to give it to Chuck Strangers. He was not only producing this year, but he was also rapping. He also did a lot on Joey Badass's album. And then, of course, you got Gordo, who is currently cooking up Iceman with Drake, and did What Did I Miss, and a couple different joints on some sexy songs for you as well. That happen to be my favorites. But for Producer of the Year, hella easy pick. Dude never misses. What is a miss when it comes to Alchemist? So Alchemist for my 2025 Producer of the Year. Doomer, Producer of the Year. We got Conductor Williams, Alchemist, Hit Boy, DJ Premier, and Pink Panthers. Honorable mention, Chris Lake and Nicholas Craven. And the winner for Producer of the Year for Good Brother Doomer of 2025 goes to Alchemist. Yeah, once again, this was a year of what didn't he do? He was also rapping. He did so many joints, I think at this point it's impossible why even bother to count. Was featured on a lot of different other artists' albums as well. And just knocked them all out of the park because that's just what Alchemist does. Again, that was by far the easiest category. But as always, it was a fun category, though. But yeah, that was probably the easiest one of the night. Put out like 3 albums alone this year, not even mentioning other ones that he's factored in on. It's just crazy. Yeah, him and Hit Boy, those are names you always see on there. It's just bad shit. But now, moving on to, again, 2 very tough categories. Not going to lie, these are categories that I tend to get the most heat for because it's just so tough to pick them. But for Good Brother Doomer, we're going to kick it off for Feature of the Year, 6th Annual Sleepless Awards. For the Feature of the Year nominations for Good Brother Doomer, we got Dochi, Egypt Remix, Skepta, 10, Yaya Bay, I Remember, Green Tea Pen, I Remember, that's funny, Black Thought, NF. And the winner for Good Brother Doomers Feature of the Year goes to Yaya Bay, I Remember, When Nightmares on Wax. Woo! Yaya had a nomination and now she's got a dub. Shout out to her for snagging that W for Feature of the Year. Good shit. 2025, what an incredible year it was music-wise. Oh, Butcher Brown. Gotcha. Hey, I wasn't quite sure what you meant there. But yeah, no, that's good shit. Yaya Bay, I Remember, for Feature of the Year dub. Good shit, Doomer. And now, that leaves it to me. Man, there was a lot of great features this year. I can't just put Malice. So, unfortunately, he's only going to get one nomination for this one tonight, folks. But for Feature of the Year, we got Kendrick Lamar, Chains and Whips, Tyler, the Creator, POV, 21 Savage, Pieces on My Neck, Malice, Community, Stove God Cooks, Fico. Honorable mention, JID, Goldfeet, Leon Thomas, Watching Us, and I ended up actually Xing that one out. So, I kept the Leon Thomas, but I ended up Xing out the Cali Euclid. So, for Feature of the Year, the winner is, for your Ultimate Sensei, it was a tough one. I looked back and forth and back on it. But for Feature of the Year, I'm going to give it to Kendrick Lamar, Chains and Whips. Now, this one I'm going to discuss because it was tough coming to a conclusion on this one. It really, really was. So, yeah, I had to throw out that JID feature on there. That was insane. But, yeah, to go back to the Chains and Whips, though, for Kendrick Lamar as to why I have that as Feature of the Year. I feel like that feature, the deciding factor for me going with that feature was the moment that was created when the snippet first dropped at that fashion show in 2024, and how the speculation on what did he say and all these different, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, or it's this, it's a Drake diss, it's one last Drake kill shot, and whatever. What's he going to do with it? And then you started hearing bits and pieces of it, and it's like, all right, what is this? Then you remember the beat, and it's like, holy shit, the beat's hard. And then when you finally got the feature, it was like, oh my God, he delivered and then some. Like, therapy taught me I should open up, but it also showed me I don't give a fuck. Like, all the pivotal bars that he took from it, I had to give it to him. Feature of the Year for me, Kendrick Lamar, Chains and Whips. And then Good Brother Doomer for his Feature of the Year was Yaya Bay, I Remember. And for me, like I said, I had to give it to the Chains and Whips. But again, on that album, Let God Sort Him Out, I love Tyler on POV. I thought 21 Savage on Pieces on My Neck went absolutely nuclear with Young Nudie. Malice, Community. Again, When Kings Can't Raise a Young Prince, the Doves Cry Here. That goes back to my Song of the Year. And then Stove God on Fico. I mean, Stove God, come on, man. When he's saying that kind of shit on the hook. And then, yeah, JID on Gold Feet. He went absolutely crazy on that. Love JID's flow, of course, on that too. And what is that over? Alchemist Production. Imagine that. And then you got Leon Thomas with Watching Us. Again, that goes back to Song of the Year too. Leon Thomas with the Watching Us hook. It kind of gave me that mid-2000s, like, you got Wale rapping top tier level, and then that kicks right into the hook, which is the R&B Leon Thomas, who's been on a major roll over the past 2 years, going crazy. He's got Grammy nominations. Well, guess what? You got Sleepless Radio nominations and honorable mentions as well, good sir. And who knows, maybe even a dub somewhere in the cards tonight. Happy New Year, good brother. Hopefully it's a little bit warmer for you than it is where we're at. But for best feature, though, once again, Chains and Whips, Doomer says, I Remember. Which leads into me kicking it off for best featured artist. Nominations go. Boldy James, Stove God Cooks, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine, Nas. Honorable mentions being Ab Soul, JID, Freddie Gibbs, Malice. And the award for Best Featured Artist goes to, I just gave a little prelude about 2 minutes ago, Mr. Stove God Cooks, because this year with the features, once again, he was cooking and he wasn't missing with them. So I'm going with Best Featured Artist for the 6th annual awards. I'm going with Stove God Cooks. Oh, we got a Malice's Rapper of the Year 2025. All right, so you're saying that's just your Rapper of the Year? Maybe that's your best male artist? Because right there, I had him as an honorable mention for featured artist. In this case, it was because Boldy did a lot of features, did a lot of projects as well. But he was featured on a lot. Obviously, Stove God, Conway the Machine, he's always hopping on features. Nas had a lot of incredible features. I love that for best male artist pick. And then Benny the Butcher, of course, he was killing his shit. Absol was doing a lot of features as well, which was cool to see. He stepped outside. Freddie Gibbs, he was knocking features out the park. And JID, once again, he didn't miss on a single feature this year. But for me, I was going Stove God Cooks. For Best Featured Artist for Good Brother Doomer, nominations go Boldy James, Conway the Machine, Nas, Vince Staples, JID. Honorable mention, Earl Sweatshirt, Benny the Butcher. And the winner for Best Featured Artist for Good Brother Doomer of 2025 goes to, yes, he was, Fico. And the winner is Mr. Boldy James. Shout out Boldy. He was one of my nominations as well. Always love seeing featuring Boldy James on a joint. Yeah, I'm not mad at any of those picks as well. Love seeing the Earl. He had great this year. Detroit bias in the house. Love to see it. Benny the Butcher, though, I mean, of course, like I said, I had him in my regulars. Best Featured Artist. Love seeing Vince Staples on there. That joint that he had with Joey Fats, Corporate Thuggin', that came out a couple months ago. That was incredible. Great pick there. And then, yeah, you got Conway and Nas, too. The Butcher coming, baby. Yeah, I gotta love some Benny the Butcher. So for winners for the 6th annual Sleepless Awards Best of 2025 Featured Artist, El Tigre Tente says Stove God Cooks, and Good Brother Doomer says Mr. Boldy James. I get to retire my first sheet, even though I love letting the awards just drag on because I hate when it's over because we can only do these once a year, but I love seeing everybody's picks. But to lead us into, we always love showing love to the freshmen, to the rookies of the game, which I'll preface this right now too. This is one of the hardest categories simply because what is a rookie in hip hop? It's really hard to decide. XXL can't figure it out. There's sometimes people in there that I've noticed where I'm like, I don't know if I'd look at them as a freshman. So this is one of those categories where I literally sign up to get ripped apart by the internet, and I love every single second of it. And this is nominations of Rookie of the Year for Good Brother Doomer. He popped off a couple here. Again, it's a tough category because it's like, really, what is a rookie? I love that joint. For Rookie of the Year, for nominations of Good Brother Doomer in 2026, we got Ray Vaughn, Jay Worthy, and Key Glock. Well, for me, I would say that one's tough. And the winner is Jay Worthy. Jay Worthy getting some love tonight. Shout out Jay Worthy. I will say that, again, what is a rookie? But Key Glock, I mean, I've been hip to him for a little while, but I do feel like this year you could qualify him because he went on his like biggest tour, and his album and his deluxe also sold extremely well, way more than I'm sure was projected. So I actually like seeing that nomination for Rookie of the Year. And obviously I love the Ray Vaughn pick. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's a part of mine. I think he had an incredible year. Oh yeah, Key Glock really be rapping too. Like a lot of people might look at that and be like, oh, he's just trap rapping. But it's like, no, he's rapping. Like, no, he's real good. Like, he's real solid. And plus, I think he's carried on Young Dolph's legacy something just phenomenally, especially the way that he honors him with how hard that he's been working. Because he could have just fell back on it and just kind of rest on the trying to find the word of it, but rested on the laurels. But he decided to keep it going, and I thought that the way he's carried the Paper Route Empire and carrying the Dolphin Light, that's absolutely, yeah, he's got a great ear for beats. I mean, no kidding. I mean, some of those beats on there with the bass and shit, that shit be knocking. Eddie Valero is hard too. Love seeing that pick as well. I'm actually not too hip to Eddie Valero. Might have to get us hip to that one sometime. So, once again, for Rookie of the Year, Jay Worthy gets the dub for Good Brother Doomer. Now, for my Rookie of the Year, we got G-Lo, Baby Chief Do It, Marco Plus, Ray Vaughn, and Bruiser Wolf. For honorable mentions, I have E.J. Jones and Brother Tom SOS. And my winner of Rookie of the Year, this one was one of the easier ones. The guy who made the good, the bad, the dollar menu. The guy that got rap beef going crazy. The guy that went against everybody on the East Coast, gave Joey Badass a run for his money. That gentleman's name is, and the winner is Ray Vaughn from TDE. He just had an absolutely incredible year. I mean, that, once again, that good, the bad, the dollar menu gave me a little bit of Section 80 vibes. I'm not even going to lie. I got Section 80 vibes from it a little bit. I think the sky is the limit for Ray Vaughn. The way that he just had such a hot year and just keeping his fucking foot to the pedal and just keep driving it, it just absolutely insane. And Ray Vaughn, again, Rookie of the Year, dude. Sky's the limit for you, man. It, absolutely incredible. Can't wait to see what comes in 2026 from you, because something tells me you're not taking your foot off that gas. So for Rookie of the Year of 2025, I got Ray Vaughn. And Good Brother Doomer said Jay Worthy. Now to lead us into Collab Album of the Year / Project of the Year. So it can be an EP as well if you wanted to go that route. And we got, for my nominations, again, it's tough because a lot of great collab albums came out this year too. But I got Life is Beautiful, 2 Chainz, Larry June, Alchemist. Criminally Attached, Boldy James and Nick Crown. I believe I said that right. Chicken and Sauce, that Mexican OT and Sauce Walka. Desired Crowns, Love the Genius and Shay Nor. Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist. For Collab Album of the Year, I go with, and the winner is, well, first let me actually name my honorable mentions. No Validation, Shay Nor and the other guys. Make Hip Hop Fun Again, La Russell and Mike LP Beats. And the winner for Collab Album of the Year goes to Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist. Freddie and Alk leaking up on that, man. It was like the first one. Absolutely knocked that shit out of the park. Freddie Gibbs on all of those joints was just going absolutely nuts. Big Boss Rabbit, baby. And I know that Doomer, something tells me that's going to be factored into his as well. But yeah, I got to give that one though to Alfredo too. I love that joint. And in fact, that's another one of those that's aged better as time has went on. I feel like as the months have went on, I'm like, oh, I keep going back to that album more and more. I love what Love the Genius though and Shay Nor did with Desired Crowns. Excuse me. Got a lot of replay out of that though. I thought that they fucking smoked that. I know it was a rumor for a while that they were coming out with a project, and I think that they delivered and fired on all cylinders. You got Chicken and Sauce, that Mexican OT and Sauce Walka. I think that was a really fun project. And then, yeah, you got Boldy and Nick with the Criminally Attached. I think they smoked that. And then Life is Beautiful. I will be honest. Life is Beautiful with 2 Chainz, Larry June, and Alk almost beat Alfredo 2. But Alfredo 2 at this point has been turning itself into an iconic series. I mean, as much as I loved Life is Beautiful and thought that that was an incredible 2 Chainz and Larry June collab, and 2 Chainz reminding everybody how fucking well he can rap, I got to go with Alfredo 2 on that one, though. Freddie Gibbs needs to focus on rapping and get with Currency again. He'll never work with Currency again. He's still salty about the Fetty album. Not the Fetty album! Oh, no! Not the Fetty album. Oh, shit. But yeah, for collab album, once again, best of 2025, I go with Alfredo 2. Now to kick it off over with Doomer, we got Larry June, 2 Chainz and Alchemist, Life is Beautiful. Hit Boy and Alk, Goldfish. DJ Premier and Rock Marciano, The Coldest Profession. Larry June and Cardo Got Wings, Until Night Comes. Wu-Tang Clan and Mathematics, Black Samson. Honorable mentions: Boldy James and Ant Beats, Homage. DJ Premier and Ransom, The Reinvention. Boldy James and Chuck Strangers, Token of Appreciation. Currency and Harry Fraud, Never Catch Us. Guilty Simpson and Kong the Artisan, Giants of the Fall. Bruiser Wolf and Harry Fraud, Made by Dope. Love Bruiser Wolf. And the winner is, for Good Brother Doomer's collab album of the year in 2025, DJ Premier and Rock Marciano, The Coldest Profession. Great picks on that one as well. My goodness. Yeah, that one's tough. A lot of great names in there. The Wu-Tang Clan and Mathematics, Black Samson was great. That, I think it was like Warriors 2, Coolies High, or something like that. Rocky Marciano, yes sir. Love that you went with Primo. When you mentioned Primo for Producer of the Year earlier, I wondered if that project was going to pop up. But I love how we both had Life is Beautiful as our very first nomination. It was like, yeah, that's an easy one to think of. Yeah, that one belongs. And then it's like, all right, what else we got? But yeah, no, that's great. So for 2025, 6th Annual Sleepless Award, winner of Collab Album of the Year, Good Brother Doomer goes with DJ Premier and Rock Marciano, The Coldest Profession, and your ultimate sensei, your Captain Speaking, goes with Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist. Now that leads us to a big one. In fact, our good brother from St. Louis was talking about it a little bit earlier, actually, when he mentioned that his best male artist of the year was Malice. But now to kick off Doomer's Best Male Artist category, here comes a big one for the 6th Annual Sleepless Awards, always a tough category. Best Male Artist. Good Brother Doomer's nominations are Westside Gunn, Benny the Butcher, Alchemist, Boldy James, Larry June. But would you like to switch out Alchemist since we ended up putting him as a producer? But for honorable mention, though, we got Bruiser Wolf and Malls Monday. If not, we can keep him because Alchemist was also rapping this year as well. So, Best Male Artist and the winner for Good Brother Doomer of the 6th Annual Sleepless Awards goes to Boldy James, taking home another Sleepless Award trophy. Good shit, Boldy. Make that 2 wins for Big Boldy. Boldy James did have an incredible year, man. And from St. Louis, his winner is Mr. Malice. Or as I should say, No Malice. He said winner is hashtag No Malice. Love it. So, for Best Male Artist, this one was a tough one. Really, really was. For Best Male Artist, I have for my nominations, Malice, JID, Ransom, Larry June, and Drake. Honorable mentions, Boldy James, Ab Soul, Westside Gunn, Central C, and La Russell. It's funny that you say that because it came down to those exact 2. But for El Tukertente's winner of the 2025 Best Male Artist, and the winner is JID of Dreamville. I'm giving it to JID, taking home a sleepless dub for Best Male Artist. He said, get Drake out of there. I knew the heat was coming. It's already coming my way. Bring it on. That's what I welcome, baby. It's all love at the end of the day. But for Best Male Artist, though, for my dub, I got to give it to JID. God Does Like Ugly. Not the last time you're going to be hearing me talk about JID tonight or that album. Let's Go on his feature run, let alone we got, for JID's features, you got Bodies, you got Gold Feet. That's just 2 of the ones that come to mind, and they absolutely were show-stealing features. Not saying that the other guys didn't do great on those joints as well, but I just personally feel like, again, I say this every time I talk about JID. JID is living proof that aliens exist, because every time he raps, that is what I'm listening to. That is not a human being. That's a man that has gills. That is a half man, half shark, fish. I don't know. I can't call him a fish because he's more like a shark. But JID is not a human being. He takes home the dub for me for best male artist for sure. You still got to hear Everything Is a Lot. That new Wale is incredible. It's funny that you mentioned that. Community, stay tuned, actually. It's funny that you mentioned that being a hard-ass song. But yeah, for best male artist, though, JID, you got the dub for me. And from Good Brother Doomer, closing the book on 2025 for best male artist, he's got Boldy James. Now that leads us in to something that, well, one of the first categories that we debuted, because, well, it just goes with the name of the brand, I should say. Belly is my song of the year by Wale. Interesting. Yeah, Wale did do great on that album. My favorite on that album personally is Watching Us, which I actually had as one of my song of the year nominations at the top of the show, because that's what we kicked it off with. But Belly is your song of the year. Interesting pick. Yeah, that ended up being mine for sure. And then Around the World by Mobb Deep was Doomer's. So, for Sleeper of the Year, now this can be artists, this can be albums, this can be songs. It has essentially any realm that you want to go in. But for Doomers, for my Sleeper of the Year, sorry. So to kick it off, me with Sleeper of the Year, I got Jack Blocker, the Land on Most High album. I know a lot of people are going, who? I love Jack Blocker. 2 years ago, he was one of the runner-ups on American Idol. Yes, I still watch American Idol. I watch with my wife. Go ahead, give me all the hate you want for it. But I was watching, and I thought that kid's voice was incredible. He ended up going down to at least like the top 5. He finally dropped an album. He was one of the first people on American Idol in years that I actually really did enjoy. And boy, did he deliver on that album or what. Jack Blocker, The Land on Most High. I don't know if it's country. I don't know if it's folk. It might be both. Either way, that shit got smoked. And I'd be replaying the hell out of that. It even made my top 5 replay. Shout out Jack Blocker. For the other nominations, I got Shay Noor, Reason, Lil Russell, and Ray Vaughn. My honorable mentions, I got Kai Cash, Joey Badass. I got Off Road by Rory Masego and Freddie Gibbs. I got User Guide Russ, Love the Genius, and my dog, my dude from Buffalo. I know he's rooting for his Bills this weekend. We got Mr. Jay Skeese. But for my Sleeper of the Year of 2025 for the 6th annual Sleepless Awards, the guy that I have getting the W for Sleeper of the Year, and the winner is Ray Vaughn, taking home his second dub of the Sleepless Awards for me. So Boldy's got 2 on the board tonight, and Ray Vaughn's got 2 out as well. Once again, I love the Jack Blocker album. Thought it was great. I thought Shay Noor put out a lot of great projects. Should probably have got more love. I think Reason, who's been dropping all year, delivering heat, should have got a little bit more love. Lil Russell, now that he's independent, he's been going off like crazy all year, dropping projects, especially at the top of the year. And Ray Vaughn, though, again, the good, the bad, the dollar menu, man. That thing should have, I feel like, got a lot more streams. I feel like it should have got a lot more love. Ray Vaughn was rapping like the rent was due, and he had an eviction notice on the front door, like 6 of them stapled. Ray Vaughn entering that beef, the way he held his own against Joey Badass, because Joey Badass ended up smoking him, but that's okay. Ray Vaughn, though, he held in there. He did his best. He was dropping repeatedly. It's really, honestly, almost criminal that he's not celebrated a little bit more. But like I said, when I mentioned him being my Rookie of the Year, unlimited potential, sky's the limit for him, and he's on one of my favorite labels, Top Dog Entertainment. And they're letting him drop. Imagine that. No, but I absolutely love Ray Vaughn. So Ray Vaughn takes home the W for Sleeper of the Year there. But with those honorable mentions, though, I love that User Guide by Russ. Love the Genius. Thought she kind of went under the radar. Jay Skeese, that's my dog. Joey Badass. I feel like That diss that he had was probably one of the better disses, honestly, that I've ever heard. I forget exactly what it was called, but overall, that was just an artist this year and the impact that he made, on, especially in the culture. I got to go with Joey Badass. And then, of course, you got Off Road, Rory Masego, Freddie Gibbs. Loved that joint. Thought it could have been an even bigger hit than it was. And once again, Kai Cash with the Nixon 6 disc. I'd never heard of Kai Cash up until I heard that Nixon 6. And I said, hold on, who this? I was like, that boy rapping. That shit's insane. For Sleeper of the Year from St. Louis, our good brother, he says, Count Your Blessings, Stolly featuring Currency. Hey, shout out Stolly. And, of course, shout out Spitta. Love seeing those pics. When you're doing the awards, it's important that you keep your whistle wet. So, for Sleeper of the Year nominations of 2025, good brother Doomer has Droogie Otis, YOD and Madlib featuring Killer Mike, The Edge. Von Pia and the Other Guys featuring Don Will and Skyzoo, Put Your Weight on It. Little Sims, Free. Nightmares on Wax featuring Greedy Peg, I Remember. Kofi Stone, What's the Plan? Honorable mentions. Jay Worthy and Larry June, 2 Ps. Rome Streets and Conductor Williams featuring Jay Worthy, 10 Toes. Zay was here and Kamikaze Kenji. Shout out Zay! Twice in a Blue Moon. Bruiser Wolf and Harry Fraud featuring Benny the Butcher, Raised by Dope. And the winner for 2025 Sleeper of the Year for good brother Doomer goes to a Little Sims. Free. Shout out Little Sims. Love seeing Little Sims take home a big dub right there. Yeah, you got a lot of great picks in there, man. I mean, shit, where do I start? First off, shout out the local boy. He said, who the hell is Little Sims? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Excuse me. But yeah, no, I love Little Sims. Little Sims is dope. That is a great pick to have in there. Because Little Sims did get slept on this year with that. That's for sure. But then Zay was here with Kamikaze Kenji, Twice in a Blue Moon. Shout out the local gang. Shout out the land gang, baby. But no, you had a lot of great picks in there. I actually had a couple of those joints I hadn't heard before. I love the Bruiser Wolf, though. Love that we both have Bruiser. But yeah, no, great picks there. Jay Worthy, 10 Toes. Like to see his name back up there again. A lot of Bruiser Wolf coming out tonight, which is pretty cool. Benny the Butcher, of course, that's a name I feel like that pops out at almost every single awards. When doesn't he drop? And then I loved seeing that Don Will and Skyzoo on there, too. A lot of great joints in there, man. Kofi Stone, What's the Plan? That one I really want to hear because that one I actually don't think I've heard yet. Yeah, that one's definitely a tough one. You got a lot of great picks on there, too, as well. Love seeing that. Yeah, we go old school, baby. We write this shit on paper. But, yeah, no, this has been, as always, man, give a round of applause for yourself. We got St. Louis. We got the land. We got the Motor City in here. We're having a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, sleepless Friday night. As I was saying at the top of the episode, man, I love dragging it out because the 6th annual Sleepless Awards, if you would have told me 6 years ago that we'd be doing 6 of these things, I would have said you're batshit insane. And then I'd be sitting here wearing the logo that we got on the thumbnail, even though I am going to end up updating the thumbnail. But thank y'all to everybody as well that bought merch, whether you're watching this live, watching this afterwards as well. Big cheers, big pros. We only got 3 categories left. As always, we debut a new category. We always end on the high note, which is the biggest high note, the album of the year. But then we also like to show love the best non-project of the year. So that's where we're going to head into next. And like I said, man, such a blessed and wonderful time. It was such an incredible year of music. It made it one of those years where, I mean, doing this now for my 6th time, that there's been a couple years in there where it's been like 50-50, where like there's some years where I can make the whole entire nominations list in one night. I can make it all in one night. And I like where you're going with that. But you can make them all in one night. This one tonight, I can honestly, genuinely say, coming up with the 2025 6th Annual Sleepless Awards, this shit took me legit 3 weeks and paper that needed balled up and thrown away because I X'd things out and wrote different things down so many times. It was one of those kind of years. So Grammys, I'm putting y'all on blast when I say this. That's how this shit should be done. That's how this shit should be done. Me and good brother Doom are racking our brains over this shit, making sure that we don't forget a project, we don't forget an artist, we don't forget a this, we don't forget a that. We want to make sure that we're on top of it, making sure that we don't look back and go, well, I wish I thought of that. No. If we thought of it, if it was a thought to be had, we thought of it. All right? I put in 3, he put in a week. That's a month if you combine it right there on how much time we really put in, and nights and beers. You know how many beers and brews I've spent on trying to come up with this shit, blasting shit out the JBL. But see, let me tell you again, though, that's what makes it a blessed, wonderful time. And that's why I love having so much fun with this. So let's continue to have some more fun, shall we? Back to good brother Doomer, kicking us off for the best non-hip-hop project of the year. And that means it can be any genre you want. He's got, for his nominations, Chris Lake, Chemistry, Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall, Kate Trinata, Ain't No Damn Way, Nina Cobham, Basis of a Pinky Promise, love that name, Pink Panthers, Fancy That, Butcher Brown, Letters from the Atlantic, honorable mentions, Amber Mark, Pretty Idea, Mahalia, Lover Girl, Perry and Tommy, Magic EP, Yaya Babe, Do It Afraid. And the winner for Best Non-Hip-Hop Project of the Year of 2025 from good brother Doomer goes to Rochelle Jordan. Taking home another W tonight. She took home Best Female, and now she takes home Best Non-Hip-Hop. Love to see it. Love to see it. Shout out Rochelle. So she joins the 2-Dub Club. The 2-Dub Club. Boldy James, Ray Vaughn, and now Rochelle Jordan gets to join the 2-Dub Club. Shout out Rochelle Jordan. Great picks right there as well for best non-hip-hop. I will say, just looking at it, I don't know if we have not one that actually is the same as it is on mine over here. So it's kind of a repeat of our song of the year about how we kind of just went all over the place, and I love that. That means to tell me that when I end up posting this shit on TikTok, people got to love something at the end of the day. That Chris Lake album, underrated as hell if you're into EDM and techno. Wouldn't mind giving it a shot by any means. Wouldn't mind giving it a shot one bit. I like the Pink Panthers. You know, I've always been a fan of hers, especially because she made a song with the greatest of all time, Miss Icicle Spice, the Queen of America, who just celebrated a birthday, by the way. And you know what? TMZ, damn you. Damn you for waiting outside that club, catching my girl trip off that curb. Whichever photographer got sweet and thought that he could catch Ice Spice on a night where she's celebrating her 26th birthday without her boyfriend, mind you. Well, you point me his direction, and I'll find him. In fact, call him twice because I'm on my way. You don't disrespect the greatest of all time, Miss Icicle Spice, like that again in your life. You heard? All right. But now with that being said, for Best Non-Hip-Hop Project of the Year, for my 2025 nominations, this was not easy coming up with this. Give me The Land on Most High, Jack Blocker. Some Sexy Songs for You, Drake and Party Next Door. Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter. I'm the Problem, Morgan Wallen. And You'll Be Alright, Kid, Alex Warren. Honorable mentions, The Sound a Body Makes When It's Still, Hot Mulligan. Father Figure, John Bellion. The Art of Loving, Olivia Dean. And the winner for Best Hip-Hop, Non-Hip-Hop, for Best Non-Hip-Hop Project of the Year goes to Some Sexy Songs for You from Drake and Party Next Door. I mean, I bought the vinyl instantly when it came out. I loved that project. I loved it a lot more than I liked For All the Dogs, and I liked For All the Dogs. But I love when Drake gets in his R&B bag. Always love when he collabs with P&D as well. I thought P&D, I will say at some points on that album, it did kind of feel like Drake featuring Party Next Door, and Drake was taking over a lot of those records. But when Drake be getting into that R&B bag, I hate to quote Kendrick Lamar because I like Drake no matter what he's rapping about or singing about, but I really like Drake with the melodies. And I still like him when he acts tough. So a little bit different. And I don't mind the way that he walks, the way that he talks, the way that he dresses. But yeah, I got to go with some sexy songs for you, though, for best non-hip hop project of the year for me. He said, I was going to ask you, do you feel like it was more of a Drake album or more of a P&D album? Hands down, more of a Drake album. I would say that album, if you were to break it down, I never saw like a stat of this or anything, so I'm really about to do this off the top of my head. If I were to break down, and I've listened to it a lot, it was my top 2 listened to album of the year. I would probably say it's 70-30. It's 70% Drake, 30% Party Next Door. Somewhere around that 70-30 would probably be the ratio. Because, for example, there's only one song that P&D does alone. There's like 4 that Drake does alone. So I would say that's definitely more predominantly a Drake album. But once again, I had to pinch it in there somewhere. I didn't want to put it on album of the year necessarily, even though I debated that one back and forth left and right as well. But I got to give it that one to that dub. Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter. Once again, I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter fan. I think she's awesome. I think she's great. I'm the Problem, Morgan Wallen. I know, guilty as charged, damn it. I'm not throwing chairs or saying crazy shit. But I will say, as far as country music go, that boy can do some yeehaw. And then I really liked Alex Warren. You'll Be All Right, Kid. I thought that album was really good. I kind of feel almost like Alex Warren. I didn't know how quickly his trajectory would take off because he kind of sounds like a hosier a little bit. But I thought Alex Warren deserves some love on that one for sure. I listened to that album a lot, quite a bit as well. You got Eternity on there. You got Your First Time on Earth. Then you got, of course, John Bellion in my honorable mentions. I love that he returned after a long hiatus. Hot Mulligan, for people that are going, who? The Sound a Body Makes When It's Still. Hot Mulligan came out with another new album this year, and I love them. Carbon Monoxide Hotel. Then you got The Art of Love and Olivia Dean. Olivia Dean, if anybody had a voice like you that I knew, I would only go around them and tell them to sing. You don't even have to speak. Just start, whatever you got to say, just sing it to me. But for my W for best non-hip-hop project of the year, I give it to Some Sexy Songs for You, Drake and P&D. And Good Brother Doomer gives it to Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall. Now moving on to Best R&B Artist. So Best R&B Artist. As always, every year, something that I really like to do. I like to go into every new annual awards, and I like to add one on. Because again, when we did the first one, if you would have told me that there even would have been a second one, I probably would have said you're crazy. But the first one went so well that we're like, well, it was a lot of fun. You want to do it again? All right, let's do it again. And then we had fun again the second time. And then it was, hey, do you want to do this again? Yeah, I'll do it again. This is fun. They still like it. Oh, they still like it. Oh, it looks like it's always going to be a thing. So how about every year we just keep adding on categories and having fun with it? And eventually, obviously, we can't add on too many categories. But if every year I can think of a new one and it fits and it blends in, then guess what? I think we might do it. And I take recommendations as well. So if you guys would like to throw out some suggestions, your ultimate sensei would happily oblige to receive them and decide and see what I think on them. But for the new category, for the 6th annual Sleepless Awards, Best of 2025, this is Best R&B Artist. A lot of R&B came out this year. A lot of you guys might know from the pod that, which we are returning soon. Sorry for the hiatus. I'll explain it on the show. But for Best R&B Artist, there was so much great R&B that came out this year. And something that I wanted to do for the Best R&B Artist category is we don't have to split this up into male and female. We can rope them all into one because they're all so absolutely fucking incredible. And a lot of these artists had a great year. And I'll be honest, even names that unfortunately had to be left off. It's not like we're dissing anybody. We can make honorable mentions lists go as long as the fucking Declaration of Independence and longer. But at the end of the day, we want to keep it short as we can and try to also keep it concise. But for Best R&B Artist nominations, Best of 2025, Leon Thomas, Summer Walker, Kalani, They, and The Weeknd. Honorable mentions, Mariah the Scientist, Tiana Taylor, Ty Dolla $ign. And my winner for Best R&B Artist, I was sitting a couple rows away from him at the Browns game when they faced the Niners, Mr. Leon Thomas. Come on down, baby. Leon Thomas gets the dub for me. The Mutt Deluxe, the feature on Watching Us, all of his features that he's done this year, the feature that he did with Rory earlier on in the year on the first single of Rory's release of his second project. Leon Thomas, he's just been on a fucking tear. He's been on a roll. And honestly, I was debating in my head, because at the time, this is when we were already starting to think about the awards, on Best R&B Artist. And when I saw that Leon Thomas was about 3 rows down from me at the Browns game, I said, you, sir, are getting this done, because this is not just a coincidence. Because it was coming down between Leon Thomas and Kalani. I will say it was coming down to those two. Summer Walker kind of factored herself in. But at the end of the day, you can include some bias when you're doing the awards. It's a tricky business we're in. But I really truthfully didn't listen to her project as much as I did the other ones in that list. So I really had to go with Leon Thomas. Plus, I thought the way he did that deluxe, keeping the momentum going, keeping the iron hot, I thought that was a fucking brilliant move on his part. And then the honorable mentions, Mariah, she had a great project, great moments, great features. Tiana Taylor, she kind of went under the radar a little bit, but I think she was incredible. Her album was great. And then Ty Dolla $ign. I mean, come on. You need a guy to sing you a hook, give you an R&B hook. You know who to call. Call Ty Dolla $ign. He's probably got 1,500 of them just laying around in his phone notes, and those are ones that he just threw away. They probably ain't even going to use. So yeah, Ty Dolla $ign's always got something. For Best R&B Artist of the Year for Good Brother Doomer of 2025, nominations are The Weeknd, Mahalia, Tiana Taylor, Sir, Jane Hancock, Emotional Oranges, honorable mention, Coco Jones, and the winner for R&B Artist of the Year for Good Brother Doomer of 2025 is Mahalia, Lover Girl EP, underrated as fuck. Mahalia gets the dub for R&B Artist of the Year. Good shit, Doomer. So you showed love to a female. I showed love to a male as well. So, oh, wow, that's big pause. Big pause. Hold on. Hit pause. All right, now resume. But no, I showed love to the dude. Man, there's no way around that. I walked right into it again. I walked myself out the door, and then I walked myself right back in. But no, I got Leon Thomas. There's no other way to say this. I got Leon Thomas as my best R&B Artist of the Year, taking home the first W in that category with it being its debut. And we got Mahalia taking home the first dub as well for her and for our best R&B artist. And I can't wait to see what you guys all got as well. Well, that leads us to the big one. That leads us to the toughest one of the whole entire award show. And boy, oh boy, is it tough. Album of the Year. Doomer, you're going to have the privilege of kicking this one off for us. So, for Album of the Year, first off, I'm buying time here. The awards are almost done and I got to wait another year. Bro, this took me forever to come up with these nominees. Let's talk about it. Before we even get to them, let's talk about it. Let's just look back on what was a great year of just all that incredible music. I mean, every month I'm looking, okay, let's go look at January's playlist. Yep, that's nuts. That's nuts. That's great. That's incredible. That's amazing. All right, February, same. March, same. April, same. May, same. June, same. I'm like, oh God, this is crazy. This is absolutely bad shit. I mean, so many great albums. Again, I want to preface it with this again. When we go into what was Album of the Year of 2025, what was Album of the Year? What I factor in is what maybe did I listen to the most? What do I feel like just had the best lyricism track for track? What was an album? What was an album with no skips? What was an album that maybe told a story? What was an album that felt like maybe it was much needed for that artist or for the year or even for the time? What album created a moment? What album was maybe a moment for their career? Maybe it was a standout. Maybe it was a debut. Maybe it was like a wow, they're here to stay. Maybe it was like a wow, that's just perfect. That's immaculate. But as far as album of the year goes, it's tough, but you only get 5. Remember, we only get 5 nominations. And then you can honorable mention as many as you like. I don't know how anybody keeps up with all the dope albums that come out every year. Shit's impossible. You're not kidding, dude. This was one of those years where I had to play catch up. And that was another reason why I feel like it took me so long. Because I was like, oh, shit, I forgot that. Let me listen to that now. Oh, shit, I forgot that came out. Let me listen to that now. Oh, I hadn't heard that in a minute. Let me go back and listen to that because now I've been listening to all these new things. And man, let me tell you, it might sound like that's an issue. It might sound like that's a problem. And it might sound like I'm complaining. It's the opposite. Because why? I'm speaking on behalf of me and Doomer here and probably everybody watching, but we love this shit. This is what we love. We would talk about it for 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours if we could. That's just because we love it. It's the love of the game. It's the love of the culture. It's the love of ball. Singular. Well, Doomer, this is the part, though, where we're going to figure out if we know ball. And something tells me everyone's going to let us know. So to kick off Album of the Year, Doomer's taking in, well, he's throwing his hat in the ring here, and he's going to take it off for us. So for Album of the Year, for Good Brother Doomer of 2025, we got Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo 2, De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky, Pink Panthers, Fancy That, Butcher Brown, Letters from the Atlantic, Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall. Honorable mentions, Larry June, 2 Chainz Alchemist, Life is Beautiful, Hit Boy and Alchemist, Goldfish, Nina Cobham, Basis of a Pinky Promise, Chris Lake, Chemistry, Ya Bay, Do It Afraid. And the winner for Good Brother Doomer for the 6th annual 2025 Sleepless Awards for Album of the Year, the winner goes to Rochelle Jordan. Woo! Shit. She got not 1, not 2, not 3. No, she did get 3 dubs. Not 1, not 2. She got 3 dubs tonight. So she's now in the 3 dub club. Sheesh. Way to go, though, Rochelle Jordan. Doomer, incredible picks on Album of the Year. Alfredo, too. I love seeing that in there. That's not the last time you're going to hear that one tonight. Wink, wink. De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky. I love seeing De La come back. In fact, I got to go back to that album more. But like we were saying, there's so much damn music that's been coming out that it's hard to keep up with everything and get to go back and listen to shit because the new shit's dropping. Pink Panthers with the Fancy That. Butcher Brown, Letters from the Atlantic. I got to get more hip to that as well. Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall, though, taking the dub home. I definitely got to listen to that more. You have officially made me say, I'm going back and listening to this shit. For sure. Through the Wall, Rochelle Jordan. And then, of course, the honorable mentions, Alchemist and Alchemist. Again, back to Producer of the Year. What a fucking phenomenal year for him. Nina Cobham, Basis of a Pinky Promise. I want to go back to that as well, too. And I want to check out maybe a little bit of that Chris Lake and especially, too, that Ya Bay. Because once again, if there's one thing I know about Good Brother Doomer, I knew when he was hosting this with me tonight, one, I knew we were about to have an absolute blast, which we are currently having. And I also knew that, well, damn near nobody knows ball better than Doomer. Well, for Album of the Year of 2025, salute right back to you. For my 2025 Album of the Year, 6th Annual Sleepless Awards, my nominations go as Balloonerism, Mac Miller, Let God Sort 'Em Out, Clips, God Does Like Ugly, JID, Can't Rush Greatness, Central C, The Emperor's New Clothes, Raekwon. Honorable mentions, Music, Playboy Cardi, The Good, the Bad, the Dollar Menu, Ray Vaughn, Everything is a Lot, Wale, Live, Laugh, Love, Earl Sweatshirt, Paint on Paper 4, Big Boogie, Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, and the winner for the 2025 Album of the Year to close out the 6th annual Sleepless Awards. Man, did I go back and forth and back and left to right and center to front. I'm going with, for my winner, Let God Sort 'Em Out. I'm going with Clips. That album was absolutely incredible. I've been listening to it ever since. Seeing Clips back outside on that level, performing that well, track to track from the Birds Don't Sing all the way to the end, absolutely smoked it. Love seeing them back. I know it's been a tease for a long, long time on when they're coming back. Malice was back in prime form, rapping like he was in his peak, which it honestly kind of felt like that. Pusha T, he was getting his shit off. All the features on that album. You got Stove God, you got Tyler, you got you got Kendrick, obviously. You got the names go on and on, I almost feel like, with that album. There was a couple more features on there that went at John Legend on The Birds Don't Sing. That was great. Incredible intro track. Mike Tyson Blow to the Face. That beat, absolutely insane. Pharrell had literally been saving all of his best beats for Clips, because that is why Pharrell was a part of my Producer of the Year nominations, because his production on Let God Sort 'Em Out, absolutely nutty. That shit was batshit insane. And the way that they all slid over those beats, the moment that it was with the album, and the rollout of the album. If you ask me, Clips had the best rollout of the year. I mean, from the videos to the tiny desk to they're still rolling out videos to all the press that they went on. I just feel like that, to me, in 2025 was an album that not only we needed, but an album that almost felt like it was long overdue. Malice, stay back in the booth. I know they said in a recent interview that they plan on staying back. He don't plan on going nowhere anytime soon. But Clips, job well done. Job well done. You are my 2025 Album of the Year. But I will tell you who came razor close to you, and that would be Jid with God Does Like Ugly. I can't graze over that album. Jid followed up an incredible album with The Forever Story, which I thought set the bar way up. And then he said, guess what? I can go above it. So that just lets me know that when I went all in on Jid's chips a long time ago, that I knew what I was doing, and I knew that I was putting my chips in the right place, because that kid, once again, man, he's not a human being. When I listen to him rap and he does the "Assalamu alaikum," I'm like, and then he goes into a flow that stretches and then it winds and it binds and it feels like he's playing with Play-Doh. And I get mad because I'm a rapper my damn self, and it makes me want to throw verses away and be upset. JID, you make me happily upset. If that's a real term, I just created it right there. You make me happily upset with how well you rap, JID. Are you happy about that? And then we got Malice with the great feature on Community, Westside Gun on Glory. Just you got Earth Gang on Skate. You got so many great joints on there. Then we're talking about going back to the Raekwon, The Emperor's New Clothes. See, that to me, I almost feel like in hindsight I could have put it as sleeper, because I feel like people went right past it because of the time that it came out. Because it came out right around that Clips time where they were having insane rollouts, and there was crazy rollouts that were ongoing at the time. Tyler, the Creator, just dropped out of the sky around that time. But that's an album that I still go back to. I think that a lot of people should definitely go back to that Raekwon joint, Emperor's New Clothes. That's why I put it as one of my official nominations. Because, again, Raekwon it gave that vibe of, wow, what a year in hip-hop we have, where I'm saying that Raekwon and Clips are rapping at extremely high levels, like legendary levels. Like, sometimes I stop and go, wait a minute, we just got a great Raekwon album and a Clips album a month apart in 2025. God, do you just love us all this year or what? Because, wow, that was amazing. And love seeing that album. And then Central C, another reason why he was an official nomination. That was a big moment for his career. And that album streamed really well, and I still go back to it. I love that UK rap. If you ask me, nobody do it better than Central C. That boy, he be rapping. And I love the St. Patrick's joint on there. I love the joint that you mentioned earlier with Skepta, 10. I think he's got a great ear for beats as well. And I just think Central C, man, he raps extremely, extremely well. I thought that was his best album, best project yet. I thought he needed it because that really cemented him as like, hey, I can make an album. I can make an album. Here's a great album. And I think he delivered on it. And then, of course, I can't blow past this one, but love you, brother. Thank you for giving us From the Great Beyond another one of my albums of the year. If I was biased, this is how you know this is a somewhat unbiased show. If it was fully biased, I give it to him because that was my favorite album of the year. But that Let God Sort Him Out, though, my favorite, one of my favorites, and I would say that was the best album of the year. Facts, I just wish C would change the subject matter sometimes, but he's great at what he does. No denying that. My bitch be homophobic. They try to say I'm homophobic. Wait, no, my bitch is gay. I love that bar. But that's an old Central C bar. How many vibes I pull up with 10? That's on the new album, though. Or these girls love when I say bottle of water or something like that. But no, for honorable mentions, though, I got Music, Playboy Carti. A lot of people forget that I'm actually a big Playboy Carti fan. I love that album. I went back to it a bunch. I've talked about it a bunch tonight. I'll say it again. The Good, the Bad, the Dollar Menu. It gave me Section 80 vibes. I thought Rayvon smoked that shit. I thought that was absolutely incredible. Should have got more love. Everything is a lot. Wale, he came in at the fourth quarter with a buzzer beater and said, hey, put me in there. Put me in the conversation because that album, if I could have got to sit with that album maybe a little bit more, that might have graced the top 5. But I feel like it just came out right at the end of the wire, but it had to also be mentioned. Then I got Live, Laugh, Love, Earl Sweatshirt. I know that kind of came out at a time in August where we were getting the new Cardi, or getting all these big projects, that it was kind of easy to kind of blow over the Earl album. But I think you should definitely go back to it if that's what you did, because Live, Laugh, Love, another one of those albums that I've been sitting with more and more. I got to show love to my dude, Big Boogie. I think he put out one of his best projects of his career, if not his best. Has a lot of replay value on there. Paint on Paper 4. If you guys like good, I hate to put it in quotes, but if you guys like good trap music, Big Boogie be smoking that shit. He's great. And then, of course, I had to throw in Alfredo, too, with Freddie and the Alchemist. Like I said, that album's been growing on me a ton. That album's been growing on me a big ton. But for my 2025 album of the year to close us out, I got Let God Sort Him Out by Clips. And good brother Doomer said Through the Wall, Rochelle Jordan, making it actually a Sleepless Awards first. She is in the 3-dub club of the 6th annual Sleepless Awards, leaving Boldy James and Rayvon in the 2-dub club. But we had a lot of great awards tonight given out. We had a lot of great nominations, a lot of great honorable mentions. And as always, no matter how tough it is, we had to pick some winners. And I think we picked some great ones tonight. Can't wait to see. Thank you to the chat. Shout out to St. Louis. Shout out to the Motor City. Shout out to everybody watching, no matter where you might be from, whether it be on this side or the other side of the pond. We appreciate the love big time. Can't wait to see what picks you guys got for your album, song of the year, rookie of the year, sleeper of the year, feature of the year, all that good stuff that we just covered. Thank you guys to everybody who was watching live. Thank you to the good brother Doomer for joining me. Hopefully next year we can do this thing live and in person. Maybe have me, you, and Koozie get a couple of people up here doing it. But as always, it's a blessed, wonderful, beautiful night. It's a blessed, wonderful, beautiful time. 6th annual Sleepless Awards. Lord willing, let us have a 7th. Let's see what 2026 brings music-wise. I'm sure there's some new shit that probably already dropped, and I got to catch up on it probably. But I'm looking really forward to seeing what this year brings us music-wise. Once again, Happy New Year. Let's attack it with love. Be better today than we were yesterday, and better tomorrow than we are today. Wake up with a smile on. Remind yourselves of 3 things you're grateful for. And most importante, you look in the mirror and you say, I love you. Once again, thank you, Doomer. A lot of fun. Hope we can do it again next year, Lord willing. Always a blast. Album of the year, song of the year. It's always so tough and it's always so much fun. But Happy New Year. Love y'all. Hope you guys having a safe, blessed, and wonderful holiday. See y'all soon. See you this weekend for some bumps and bruises, some pulling up a chair. Sleepless Radio. We'll be back next Friday night. Peace.